All right, so it is that time of the month again. It is time to kind of take a look at the estimated mobile revenue. Now, you have to take these numbers with a grain of salt, as these are all kind of just estimates, and also they're only mobile spending. So games that more feel more like PC games, even though they can be played on mobile, like something like Wuthering Waves, which you can see there, I expect them to have a larger share of their spending also on PC. I mean, you even have people like me. My numbers are never going to be in here because I spend all my spendings on PC on all the games I play, even if I played a lot on mobile, like Umamusume. So gotta take them with a grain of salt when it comes to the comparisons. But I just like to look at these numbers to kind of get an idea how all of the games that I've either played or are currently playing or just have some knowledge about are doing. Well, yeah, with that, let's just go ahead and get right into it. I mean, you got Genshin Impact right at the top here. They're down on the month, but still holding strong. I mean, they're always doing well. Hoyoverse took massive advantage of COVID, and I mean, they're just reaping the benefits of that. Wuthering Waves shooting up to 46 million. I think, are they on the newest version? Is it like 3.0 or 4.0? I mean, it's been a while since I played it. I mean, the game's only looked like it's gotten better since I stopped playing in 2.0. Really good. I really liked the 2.0 update. 3.0 looks really good as well. I mean, it was just a time sink. Big. I mean, the open world games take up way more of my time, and I already knew Arknights Enfield, Everest and Neverness, Azure Premilia, Ananta are all going to be big ones. And I kind of just had to drop it knowing those were coming in the future, especially after Umamusume just started eating up all my time. I kind of just dropped it for now. And then we're moving on. Right now I'm playing Arknights Enfield. We have Everest and Nevers now coming out in April. So that was a good decision, even though the game is definitely still really good. Don't really know what's going on too much. I don't keep up with it too much. But I do see that it has been getting better and better on the little bit I have seen. Kind of going down here, Arknights Enfield holding strong at 25 million. I mean, 28 million was, they launched like the end of January. And so that was a big amount of money for a short amount of time, but everybody spends initially on launch with all the launch bundles and kind of just hopping off your stuff to make sure you can get the first character, Levitain. So you kind of, even though it looks like it's a minor drop off, I would say this is actually a fairly large drop off. Like you always have. I mean, this always happens after a launch, because this was like what, 5 days worth of time, while this is a whole month. But 25 million is still very good. When I think most people probably already were set up to pull. I think out of the first three characters, Levitain was definitely the most popular. Gilberta, a lot of people didn't see her value yet. Being a support that didn't really fit anywhere. But being a support, being very, very good as well. And I think she's the more popular one to pick here. Yvonne, right now, she's the one I'm actually skipping. I pulled Gilberta and Levitain. Definitely a good waifu, though. I mean, I'd pull her over that. It's just, I have better ones coming up in the future I'm looking forward to. But yeah, still very, very strong. And but now we have people who are probably like myself who are saving up for the future like waifus or even the current upcoming ones, because we just got Tang Tang and Rosie announced for 1.1. We'll have to see how they do through March, and I believe this patch will go through March and April. But I know people like me are waiting for like the next ones, the Wooling one waifus, like was it man, I can never remember their names. Mifu and then Zhang Feng, I think, are the names. Those are the two big waifu ones I'm looking for. But I know a lot of people are excited about Tang Tang and Rosie as well, so I feel they'll do fine. I don't think they're going to be as big though when they drop the other two. And then we also have the one that they hinted at. I don't remember her name, that we ran into at the power plant. She'll be cool when she drops as well. But still, really, really good there. And then, of course, right below them is Arknights jumping up from 17 million to 24 million. Man, I kind of wish I played that game when it originally came out. One of the things is like gacha games back in the day when a lot of these older ones came out. There was a lot of good ones. I mean, I played like Final Fantasy Record Keeper. That was like my first experience with the gacha game. And I was in the military at the time too, so couldn't really get heavily into any types games. But man, like Arknights was, I could see have been a really fun game that I would have really liked when it came out. But I was kind of just ignorant to these games back then. But it's good to see some that are holding on very well. I'm hoping Umamusume can do that. Be a very long-term game, 10, 20, 30, I don't care. Just keep it going as long as possible. Same thing with Nikke. Like Umamusume and Nikke are like the two games I see me holding on to very long term. Very easy on Nikkei to kind of keep up with it. Very good waifu collector. And I don't feel bad if I miss a day or two on Nikkei as well. It's not as punishing if you don't get on and do your dailies every single time. You just got to make sure you do enough of the content to unlock like the extra little skins and stuff from the events. And if you have to, you can always use, in a lot of cases, the currency to just finish the things that you couldn't have the time to do. So it's good to see. Hopefully we'll see that with some of these newer games coming out. Honkai Star Rail, man, they're up from their 8 million, but man, they used to be like popping off a lot. They were #1 on some of the months with some crazy ones. Now I'm just gonna guess these are like 2 slower months for them. They're probably gonna have the big unit coming out soon, and then that one will probably pop them off way up here. But man, 8 million was really, really low for them. They'd never gotten that low before. I'm guessing it was just like reruns or something. But still, I mean, they still make good money. I mean, it doesn't matter. They're making crazy money. Hoyoverse, I mean, taking advantage of COVID was the best thing they did. Then right below them we got Umamusume shooting up from 16 to 17 million. Now, I mean, we had the 5th anniversary starting on the JP version. I mean, we had the New Year's stuff for us on global. Pretty good month, which was kind of why we can see the increase. I'm actually thinking March will be even bigger though, with a new scenario dropping for us now on global. We have the NTR banner. We're gonna have the paid selector, Uma selector, support card selector, JP's. Even though they started 5th anniversary, the free pulls won't be done for a little bit, or at least until March. And a lot of the spending conscious people, even if they're bigger spenders, just waiting through the free pulls before you make a decision to pull is always good, because if you get lucky and you just get what you need in the free pulls, there's no reason to spend in the first place. And so I expect this to be a big month. I expect March to actually jump up from this. But good to see. I mean, Umamusume, definitely my favorite gacha I've ever played, even if the gacha is quite expensive, and definitely not free-to-play friendly to a certain extent. But yeah, the best gacha I've ever had played. So we'll just have to, hopefully they can just keep that going. A lot of good stuff in the 5th anniversary for a JP version. I've seen a lot of people excited for all the quality of life that we're going to get over time. Although I will say it is nice that they're stepping us through them. If they just gave us like a lot of those quality of lives like immediately, I think it would turn a lot of people off on the game. I think that stepping through it, maybe with some acceleration, like we got the 1st anniversary early. Hopefully we'll get 2nd anniversary early, but not going crazy and throwing all that right on top of us right off the bat is probably a good decision. So we'll just have to kind of see how that goes. Continuing 3, we have Nikkei going down from 19 or almost 20 million to 13 million. I mean, it's kind of felt like a slower month. I mean, we have the collab that started. I don't know anything about, what is it, Lycos Recoil or whatever the name of the collab. I didn't know much about that anime. I didn't see a lot of hype around it on that sense. I mean, I'm guessing they still made decent money on the collab, but trying to think of what was the prior. Well, I mean, January had a lot of the New Year's stuff. So, I mean, I expect that. We're just going to have to see how they continue. I mean, 13 million is still very, very good. It's just been kind of maybe a slower month. And, I mean, if you're like me, the only things you really pull for, a lot of people can just save their pulls and pull for the collab units because they're 2% rates, and the pilgrims, and then you just kind of put all of the other ones that are not like big pickups for meta into your wish list after they fall off. And so I think that's been a lot of the Nikkeis that dropped last month, I believe, other than the collabs. So we'll just have to see how that continues from there. And then we got Zenless Zone Zero dropping from 23 million to 13 million. I think this one was a Void Hunter, I believe. So, I mean, that's fully expected that it's going to drop down. Zenless Zone Zero being the weaker performer of the Hoyoverse games. Still a really fun game. I mean, it was the same situation as Wuthering Waves. I dropped Zenless Zone Zero and Wuthering Waves at the same time. Just too much of a time constraint to me. I'm expecting all these other games like Arknights and that coming out. But, I mean, I haven't kept up with it at all in that sense, other than knowing I think this was a Void Hunter. So that's fully expected. You have Fate Grand Order, probably a big unit, and then it just kind of dropped back to the normal. I mean, as old as this game is, 13 million still going really strong. I mean, they have a lot of good figures too. Like I'm always trying to find figures to buy in Fate Grand Order. And Azure Lane have like the most figures of them all. Even though that's not really related to the game in terms of their income. But still doing quite well. Let's see. Dragon Traveler, holy crap. Man, they are doing really well. I was sponsored for them to make a video for them. My most viewed video, of course, too. But I think they used it as ads. But man, I didn't really play it at launch. I mean, just because I didn't really have time. But that is crazy. I mean, it's an idle game. It was pretty fun to try out and play. But with Arknights Enfield coming out like around the same time, I just didn't really get into it. But I did not expect them to pop off as well as they are. I mean, their launch went good, and they're making even more after launch. That is pretty good. Let's see here. Anything else that I really recognize? Azure Lane. I mean, I can't wait to Azure Premilia. I mean, I know that Azure Premilia is not going to be as fan servicey as Azure Lane, but man, they got some really good figures out there. Like, I should try Azure Lane and see. I should just try it out, just like Brown Dust 2. Even though I can't really get into it like Nikkei because it's been out for a while. I've heard the gameplay's not all that good, but the fan service definitely is, and the figures are as well. But we'll just have to see. I mean, Azure Premilia, it's just like Arknights Enfield. Once Azure Premilia drops, I'll get into that. I don't need to be worried too much about the prior game. And Azure Premilia, though, unlike Arknights, I believe is not even going to be in the same universe as Azure Lane. It's just the same developers. But we'll kind of have to see with that. Reverse 99 still doing pretty strong. That was a game I covered very little bit. I didn't play much of it. I really couldn't get into it. It looks like it's doing quite well there. Let's see. Chaos Zero Nightmare still doing well, 3 million. I liked this game. This game was pretty good when it still looks really good. The only problem I had with it, and it's not really a negative against the game, is it's a grindy game where you're trying to build your character with your deck. It's similar to me, has the similar feeling of doing career runs in Umamusume, and you're just trying to get that perfect run to build your character with the best deck. And Umamusume already takes all my time up for that. And since they didn't have like a PvP mode that even matches Umamusume's, I've never seen a gacha game that even can match Umamusume on that. It was just too time consuming. And I didn't have time to really make guides or anything on it content-wise because it's just as complex to a certain extent as Umamusume. Umamusume definitely more complex, but enough to the extent I just don't have time to really figure out everything that's going on, so I had to drop the game early. But it's good to see they're doing quite well. Got Girls Frontline 2 still holding strong. My first game that really popped off for me on being able to, it's the game that got me over the 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Started making me a decent amount of money on YouTube as well. Also, I kind of starting on the streaming because I didn't really stream much until Girls Frontline 2 with the updates and stuff. I've really slowed down on it on content. I mostly just cover the characters as they come out now, whether or not you want to poll, and then having like my stream polls. I don't stream the story or much anymore, just because I haven't had time to really keep up. But still, I really like the game as a waifu collector. Have not quit or anything. Don't plan to quit. I do know it will be a game at some point I will have to drop just because there's just so much other stuff coming out. But for the time being, I really like the game and collecting on it. And even when it comes to quitting, I don't think it'll be a game I like fully quit. It'll just be one where I'll be missing days of getting my dailies and stuff done because it's just too much. Or I don't worry too much about doing all the content or whatnot because just because it's very hard to play like 5, 6, or 7 gotchas all at the same time. But definitely a good game fan service wise, and I really like it. But we do have Void Mastina dropping this month. We'll see if this number shoots up with her. She's another big V6 T-Doll, just like Klukai. Although I will say she doesn't need V6 as much as Klukai felt like you needed it for her to be broken. I'll definitely be V6, and I have 700 polls ready. So we'll see how that goes. Kind of going down here. Let's see any more. I mean, where is... We got Brown Dust 2 dropping a little bit. Man, I'd need to try this game out, though. Very heavy fan service on the game, and it's still doing quite well. So that's nice to see. I have no idea anything on the gameplay or whatnot, but it does quite well. I mean, it shows that they can sell. Kind of same thing with Snowbreak Containment Zone. I actually did a sponsored video for this game. I actually liked the gameplay of the game. It kind of had it was fun with the shooting and all that. Like I would like I like the idea of the shooter gacha. But I mean it's just time really. But if another one were to come out, like it's really hard to get in a game that's been out for a while. Like I struggle to get into a gacha game that's been out for a while because you have so much content to catch up on. You've already missed a lot of the FOMO stuff that they've done, and so it kind of sucks in that aspect. But it was fun, definitely, to play the little bit I did for the sponsor. And yeah, they're holding on, doing quite well. Let's see. Oh, Etheria Restart. I was in their content creator program a little bit, but I quit them fairly early. I could not get into their PvP. Didn't feel bad in the game at all. I've heard they're making a little bit decent improvements to it, though. I just could not get into. I mean, it was very hard to keep into the daily, like just doing the dailies. You really could not auto the bosses, at least the level investment I was putting into the time to beat like the hardest difficulty to get the best gear. And then to me, it was even harder to get good gear pieces. Especially because of the PvP, it matters a lot more than like Honkai Star Rail or, yeah, if I don't get the attack percent, crit rate, crit percent piece, it's not as big of a deal. Where here, if you want to be really good at the PvP, you want to get those best pieces, and just too much of a grind. Too much. But it was pretty good overall, and it seems like they're doing still decent. I have not kept up with them at all, though. I have no clue what's going on now ever since I quit. Sword of Convallaria, slowly moving down. I haven't kept up with them at all either. This was like my first game I covered though in content creation, and actually I did decently well. I mean, it was my first attempt at doing content creation on YouTube, and I got to like 700 subscribers by the time that Girls Frontline 2 came out, and then I really popped off on that. And I kept up with the game alongside like Honkai Star Rail, Endless Zone Zero, and Wuthering Waves. But that's 5 gacha games and all the dailies, and it slowly fell off for me, and then I eventually just had to quit just because I just couldn't keep up with it. Still, it was a really good game. Kind of gave me that Final Fantasy Tactics vibes, and they're still holding on. I mean, they've been dipping. I mean, they were never really big, though. If I remember, the highest they ever got was 10 million early on, and they kind of dipped down, 10, 20 million, and they got cut in half a couple months, and then they were holding on to 5 million, and now they're kind of around that sub 1 million, but they're holding on. I mean, it's still a good game, but I haven't kept up with it, so who knows? I mean, I have no clue at this point, but they are definitely holding on at least. Lost Sword, man, a 50% decrease. Really, really good free-to-play idle waifu fan service game. Really liked it. They just were handing out polls like crazy. Like I felt like they were just giving out polls like crazy. It's like, how does this game even make money? From what I heard now, I mean, at this point, if you're wanting to continue to make progress in the content and stuff, it's like mandatory to max dupe characters to a certain extent. So even though they hand out polls like crazy, you really need to save them for just popping off and maxing out characters as they drop, that are like the meta shifters for pushing content. So, I mean, that's where they make most of their money, but I don't know the cost of upkeeping it, but I mean, that's a 50% drop. I'm guessing maybe this was a big patch because I believe they went up last month. I believe they were sub 1 million the prior month, and this is maybe them just going back to base. So we'll have to see. I mean, Lost Sword was a great game. I mean, you got to think of all the games I'm talking about here. I mean, if I were to try and keep up with every gacha, I would have like 10 to 15 that I'm trying to cover. Just not possible, especially with how much time Umamusume takes up for me with my streaming of it. I think that's pretty much all of them. I don't think there's any of the games that I've played down here. There's some that I've looked at trying out, but I never actually played. Let's see. Can't think of them off the top of my head. I'll recognize them if I see them. I will say some of the low ones that I've thought about trying that I never did. I mean, it looks like I'm pretty good at predicting the games that aren't going to do too well. Oh, Ash Echoes, man, another cut in half here. They've been struggling on global. Like they feel like they're just dead on global, if I remember. Yeah. Global was just not doing well. I really liked the game. Very complex though. Even though it really was kind of just your general gacha mechanics, it's just very complex for people to understand what's going on. It was the second game I got into. I was covering it alongside Sword of Convalaria. I got into the content creator program, I think, for it, or maybe I didn't. I don't remember. I got into the beta. I had access to like a beta version for it. It's been so long. And it just did not produce that. And then Girls Frontline 2, it just didn't produce the views, and kind of just couldn't get really too far into it anymore. So I quit that one fairly early on. It doesn't look like it held on popular. It was a fun game. I just don't think it attracted enough attention. It didn't have anything that really made it pop off on the global side, like we see with like Umamusume and other ones. But let's see. And the Haze Reverb was one that I was going to try. But Haze Reverb, to me, I mean, I made the right decision because the gameplay didn't look all that interesting to me. I will say, I mean, it was kind of one of those examples of just making it very heavy fan service is not enough. You have to have some decent gameplay to it. Like that, Nikkei is really good at that. Nikkei's got very good gameplay. I really like the daily cycle of Nikkei and all that, while having the fan service. You have the same thing with, I don't know Azure Lane, but they have the heavy fan service. I'm guessing a decent enough gameplay. I've heard negative things on it, but not like terrible. So that's where you just can't throw in the half-naked waifus and expect to make a ton unless the gameplay's pretty good. And so that was a good choice to not really go into that one. And then, yeah, I don't think there's any more down here, really. Yeah. So that's pretty much everything. That is all of them. Good to see Umamusume doing quite well. Like, I really hope Umamusume just continues to do well. Really like the game. I mean, the only negative, realistically, is the gacha system. I mean, it's definitely an expensive one if you want to be a spender. But I think free-to-play, you can do well enough in it. Or even the light spender that just buys the passes. Now, they're slowly adding in new things that you can spend for, and it's kind of at to that point now. If you really want to min-max as a light spender, it's about $30 a month with all the passes on the JP version, which to me is quite fine, just because, I mean, it's like playing MMOs in the old days, $15 a month. I mean, that's to me, the cost to play a live service game. And I mean, they give out new content constantly. There's a new scenario now in the JP version every 4 months. And yeah, I mean, they're wanting to try and get you to get more of those support cards and stuff. It's definitely to make more money, but new content is at a quite regular basis. The Champions meetings are fun. League of Heroes is fun. There's all kinds of other different things you can do outside of the game content-wise if you want to do like your own types of tournaments and stuff. Kind of hard to do right now in global with the acceleration, and it's mostly for me just grinding out new parents and grandparents and building aces for the Champions meetings. We'll see what happens if they ever slow down here in the future, because we're about 6 years to actually fully catch up to JP, but we'll see. Really, it's literally my favorite game I've played on like a live service game. I've surpassed, I think, my hours on any other game I've played with it. I'm at like 2,500 on Steam, and I play a crap ton on my phone as well. So we'll just have to see, because that number is only going to keep going up. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the numbers. And if you like my content, if you can like, comment, subscribe, it really helps. And thanks for watching.